Hi, welcome to Singles Pursuing Purpose, and I am Lemoy. Wherever you are joining me from today, I am super excited to have your company. So, welcome aboard. I am always delighted when you stop by to share with me. We are still in the month of May, and our goal for May is that we will get 100 subscribers. And I do believe that it is a goal that can be attained with your help and support. I am sure that you know a friend who knows a friend, and together we could make this goal a reality. And so, if you have not subscribed as yet, I want you to do it right here, right now. Don't leave this video without giving it a like, leave a comment, and turn on your notification bell. And so let's get into today's video. Sometimes we spend so much energy focusing on those things that are not within our control, yet still, a significant amount of our time is directed towards those things that are out of our control. Imagine if we could channel that energy to focus on the things that we actually could control, how much difference that would make in our lives. And so today I will be talking about the locus of control. Maybe you have heard the term before, but today we're going to delve a little bit into it. So let's look at the locus of control. So on this side, we have our circle of control. So these are the things that are within your control. These are the things that you can change. And on this side, we have circle of concern. So these are things that you cannot change. And of course, intersecting right here is the realm of influence. So the influence that you have, maybe you could influence those things that are not within your control. But oftentimes, we spend a lot of time focusing on these things here that we are not able to control. So today we are going to talk a little bit about the locus of control. So let's start first with the circle of control. So the circle of control encompasses those circumstances or problems or issues that we have direct control over. So these includes problem involving our own behaviors and thoughts. So although we don't have the power to control all the thoughts that come into our minds, but we do have the power to choose whether to allow them to stay. So, what would be some of the things that we could think of that would fall within your circle of control? So, your thoughts, your words, your action, your reaction, your behavior, your decision, your mood, your work ethic, your attitude, and your mindset. So, those are all things that you as an individual could control. So, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. So, sometimes we try to focus so much on those things that are outside our control. And I want you to know that even if you should sit up all night and focus on things that are outside of your control within the circle of concern, it will not change it. And so, what is the point in losing sleep? What is the point in not being able to rest when there's actually nothing that you could do to change a situation? So, instead of doing that, focus on your behaviors. Focus on how will I react to that situation? Focus on your reaction. Focus on your response. So, some things are up to us and some things that are not up to us. Our opinions are up to us, and our impulses, our desires, Those are the things that are up to us. And as such, that is where you should channel most of your energy on those things that are within my power that I can control. And then if we look at the circle of concern, it is encompasses a wide range of circumstances and issues and problems that we cannot control. These include problems we can do nothing about, such as our past. Our past. We cannot do anything about our past. Our past will always be there. And so, even if we worry about things that happen in our past, there's not really much that we can do to change the past. We can change our response to the past, but we cannot go back in time and change our past reality. There's so many things that we have no power to change. So if we put our time and energy into worrying about those things that are within our circle of concern, we will continue to feel out of control and helpless. So that's when a person find themselves in a state of helplessness because they are focusing on things that are not within their control. And of course, when we don't have control, we feel helpless. Sometimes we feel hopeless. So, some of the things that are within your circle of concern could be other people's choices. So, we have no control over the choices that other people make. Even with parents, sometimes you don't have control over the choices that your children will make. No control whatsoever. Whether people like you or not, you have no control over that fact. And so even if you should stay up all night, sobbing or you just moping, oh, I wonder if they like me or they don't like me. That is outside of your control. There's nothing that you can do to make a person chooses to like you or to dislike you. You are also have no control, rather, you have no control over other people's thoughts. So you can't control how other people think or how they should respond. I know that is a big piece. Sometimes we have these expectations as to how an individual should respond. Okay, this is my expectation. I was actually hoping that you'll respond this way, or I was expecting a response such as this. No, we have no control over other people's thoughts and we have no control over their response. We can only control our thoughts and we can only control our responses. Another thing that we have no control over is the perception of others, right? The perceptions that other people may hold about you. And I know for some people, this is really a sore point because we spend so much time trying to figure out the perception of other. I wonder how they perceive me. I wonder if they're perceiving me in a good light. You also, as I mentioned before, you have no control over your past. You have no control over your childhood. A lot of folks are walking around and they're blaming themselves for the mishap that they have had in the past. They're blaming themselves for the mishap that they have encountered as a child. And that is out of your control. There's nothing that you could do to go back in time and undo your childhood. I wish I could tell you that, but I can't. There's nothing that you can do. The only thing that you'll be able to do is to change your response. When you talk about your childhood or when you deal with issues of the past, how is it that you are going to respond to it? So, if we put our time, as I said before, into worrying about the things that are outside of our control, if we spend time focusing on our circle of concern, then it's going to erupt some negative emotions within us, feeling of helplessness, feeling of sadness, feeling depressed, feeling feelings of disappointment, feeling, even maybe of worthlessness, depending on what is being triggered. But if we put our time and energy into our circle of influence and our circle of control, we will give ourselves a sense of agency and feel more in control. So, in the center here, the two circles intersecting, this is what I call or realm of influence. So, what is it that we could do to influence maybe some of those things that are under our circle of under a circle of concern rather? So indirect control over. So that realm of influence is representing or indirect control over. And these are the things that we could do to influence others, but not control them. And so, for example, maybe you could set boundaries, maybe you could educate yourself, maybe you could explain your position. So that will enable you to have some indirect control over, but not necessarily controlling the other person's position. So, my friends, I want you to, you know, take a step back, reflect. When you're faced with a situation, you need to be asking, what are those things that are within my circle of control? And focus on those things that are within your control. And you know what? Leave the others as they may, because there's nothing that you can do to change that situation. So focus on you, focus on self development, focus on managing some of the things that you're struggling with so that you'll be able to provide or to produce the right response. I trust that today was a blessing to you and that you were able to gather some nuggets of wisdom, maybe something that you could share with a friend the next time that you're faced with a worrying situation. You will look at what are those things that are within my control and focus and channel your energy in that direction. Please ensure that you share the video today. Don't leave without subscribing, leaving a like, or giving it a thumbs up. And if you have not received a copy of my book, The Unknown Painter, today is the day. May's Childsman, invest in a child. Each child is created with talents and dreams and aspirations, and we do have a responsibility to help them unfold those talents. So, the unknown painter will put you on that path. So, thank you for joining me today. Until we meet again, walk good.